Hello friends, I welcome you all in IAS Mains GS Learning Series. In this series, we are going to discuss a very important question which may be asked in coming IAS examination. So let's start. The question is, regulatory forbearance is an emergency medicine, not a staple diet. Elaborate the statement in context of Indian banking sector. So first of all, I would like to discuss that why this question has been taken. It is because of the fact that in recent economic survey, a whole chapter has been dedicated to this issue. So that is why we feel that it may be asked in coming examination. So let's start that how to write a perfect answer for IAS Mains. So this question we are going to deal with this question is to be written in 150 words and it carries 10 marks. So if you write this answer as we suggest, then I wish that you will easily fetch 5 to 7 marks, and you know that these marks are very good as the marks required for selection is around 50%. So let's come with us. Now first of all, before writing any question in mains examination, we have to lock out the main keywords which are used in the question. So first is regulatory forbearance. Second is emergency medicine and third is staple diet. So हमें ये देखना है कि ये three words how they affect the answer writing. So पहले we will discuss regulatory forbearance and how it should be taken as an emergency medicine, and what is staple diet, why these words are attached to this question. So we will discuss them in coming segment. So before discussion, you can have this blueprint of the answer which you can maintain during answer writing. In introduction, we can write 30 to 40 marks, and you can write 3-4 lines about this. So in this section, we will be dealing with what is regulatory forbearance. Second is in body part, which need to be written in about 70-80 questions. In this section, you can discuss why was regulatory forbearance needed. Second important issue is that how does the regulatory forbearance function. So in body part ये दो चीजें आप लिख सकते हैं. Third, conclusion में you can write 3-4 lines in order to conclude your observations. The first point is that why it should be a emergency medicine, why regulatory forbearance should be an emergency medicine, and second aspect is that what should be done in future in order to use regulatory forbearance as a policy tool. So with this blueprint you can write your answer, and now we will discuss that how to write, how to develop this into a effective answer. Now the first point, what is regulatory forbearance? So it has two words, regulatory, and second is forbearance. Regulatory is nothing but it is a part of law, and forbearance is nothing but it is exemption. That is let go. that is allow a non-adherence means that it is something, there are many regulatory provisions which are relaxed in a particular situation in order to fight back the crisis situation. So basically this regulatory forbearance was allowed by the Reserve Bank of India in 2018 global financial crisis. So it is an exemption from regulations. It provides restructuring of non-performing assets of the bank, means bad loans for which the amount of interest has not been paid for a particular period. मतलब यदि कोई borrower एक particular period तक किसी लोन पे इंटरेस्ट पे नहीं कर पाता है तो उस पीरियड के बाद में बैंक उसको बैड लोन्स के रूप में क्लासिफाई कर देता है और उसके अगेंस्ट बैंक को एक रिजर्व क्रिएट करना पड़ता है, सो दैट इन केस इफ borrower is not able to pay back the money, so the bank can adjust the loss from that reserve. So basically it was done, this relaxation was given to ease credit in order to increase the credit in banking sector for the purpose of helping borrowers. Since there were global financial crisis, so the borrowers were not able to pay their loans on time and even they were not able to pay the interest money. So in that case, RBI allowed the banks regulatory forbearance in case of non-performing assets. The second is in body part, you will deal with why was regulatory forbearance needed, why it was needed. So we have already discussed that there was global financial crisis in 2008 and it was a situation of slowdown. It means that there were reduction in economic activities and therefore there was a need to encourage investment for the purpose of increase in gross domestic product. Why? If there is an increase in investment, it means the money is being utilized to create new production facilities. So in that case, your GDP will automatically rise. So it was the reason that RBI initiated the policy of regulatory forbearance. Now the next point is that how does regulatory forbearance function, कि ये रेगुलेटरी फॉरबियरेंस कैसे काम करता है. सो देखिए, when exemption is given about NPAs, non-performing assets, so bank can restructure their loans. What does it mean? That they are not required to classify bad loans in bad loans as non-performing assets. And if they are not required to classify them as NPAs, then there is no need of creation of reserves. So banks are not required to create a reserve. Consequently, the profits of bank will increase. Besides, when a loan is not classified as a bad loan, the bank can give more loan to the same borrower. So there is a expansion of credit. It means more money in the economy which can be utilized for more investment. these borrowers will further invest this money for increasing the production of goods and services, and consequently because of this investment there will be an increase in production, and when there will be an increase in production, definitely the gross domestic product will increase. In that case, the economy will come out from the crisis situation. So this is how that regulatory forbearance works. Next point is that why regulatory forbearance an emergency medicine, why it should be such. So the point is that regulatory forbearance was initiated in 2008 and it continued 2015. So during 2011 there was a complete recovery. There was a complete recovery in the economy. Why? Because there was a increase in exports, increase in investment and increase in GDP. Now the important question is that if economy recovered from the slowdown in 2011, then why regulatory forbearance was continued for more 4 years? Why till 2015? So as per experts that it should be stopped in 2011, but it was continued till 2015. So they argued that it should be withdrawn in 2011, but it was not the case. So what happened, that during the continuance the NPAs got doubled. It means the bad loans of banks got doubled. So they got doubled and the banks didn't create a reserve fund to meet the loss. So if they didn't create reserves, so they are undercapitalized because this money is to be kept with the bank in order to meet the losses. So banks didn't have adequate capital to meet the losses. So it led to banking crisis. It led to banking crisis in India. And these banking crises led to decrease in investment. Consequently, when there was a decrease in investment, there was a decrease in production. And ultimately, again, there is a decrease in gross domestic product. So, in recent years, Indian economy is facing financial crisis because of over-continuance of regulatory policy till 2015. So NDA government came into power and it stopped that regulatory forbearance in 2015 in order to improve the banking sector in India. So what we have concluded, that regulatory forbearance, though it is helpful in overcoming slowdown, but it should be used as medicine only in crisis situation, not in case of regular use. It means it should be a medicine, not a staple diet. A staple diet means a diet which we regularly take to keep our body healthy and fine. So this regulatory forbearance should not be continued beyond these crisis situation. And very important observation, that a periodic review of regulatory forbearance should be done, so not to let it be taken as a staple diet. So it should be withdrawn as soon as the crisis is over. So friends, I wish that you got all the information required for writing an effective answer, and thank you very much for this session, and I wish you a good luck in your coming examination. Thank you very much.